amended the regulatory framework, and the most important amendments that we instituted were, we eliminated the seed capital requirement for the mutual funds. Previously it was 100 million that had to remain invested for 2 years, but now we have removed that, and we have replaced that minimum fund size. We have empowered unit holders of the mutual fund if they are if they've got any issues with the AMC, or primarily because if there's due to any market circumstances, the redemption of units, if it remains suspended beyond 15 days, they can change the management rights of the fund, and they can assign it to some other asset management company. So we have empowered the unit holders, and we also increased oversight by trustee to make it more in line with the international best practices. Basically, they've one additional responsibility that they can call a meeting of the unit holders as and required, as per requirements of the framework, of course. And the trustee has to also be a secretary to the meeting, and they have to protect the interests of the unit holders. We jump to the industry overview, what our industry is currently standing at. It's about the total assets of mutual funds as of February 2012 of 400 billion, sorry. The number of funds, total funds that we have in the market currently, 147. If we structurally divide that, it's 132 in open end and 15 in closed end. The total number of asset management companies we have in Pakistan are 25. Now, if we split the Islamic mutual funds from conventional, the assets under management for Islamic are about 52 billion, and the number of funds currently 31, a couple in the pipeline as well. The Islamic funds industry share in terms of assets under management is around 13%, and in terms of the number of funds, roughly 20%. This is how the Islamic funds basically have grown. You can see the trend starting from 2 in 2002 and jumping all across to 28 in 2011. You can see the doubling has basically happened somewhere close to in the post-crisis period, basically because the demand for Sharia-compliant investments has increased since then. If you split the Islamic funds into the categories, you'll see that the majority is dominated by income funds, and which is not comparable to international markets, of course, because over there you've got more equity funds. Despite the small number, I would say the product diversification is pretty fine. You can see that almost all types of categories are currently being offered. And you'll also note that, I'll jump across to the next slide to show. The asset composition, if you see, is primarily placed in either government securities, I'm talking about Islamic mutual funds, or placed with banks or financial institutions. And just 20% of it is invested in equity securities. This is primarily because we have got a dearth of investment avenues, Sharia-compliant investment avenues in Pakistan. So most of the Islamic mutual funds normally get into either bank deposits or government securities. But if you see the mutual funds in general, the composition is slightly more diversified, with like 1/3 in equities, and likewise in government securities, with the rest in bank deposits, debt securities, and other.